More photos and emails from Hunter Biden's laptop resurfacing. The evidence seems to refute Joe Biden's claim that he never spoke about business with his son Hunter.
The press still shielding President Biden from culpability. They're reporting on it, but they're still doing this, Bianca. The Washington Post saying it did not find any evidence that President Biden benefited or knew details about Hunter's business dealings with a Chinese energy firm.
And also whistleblower Jack Maxey, who gave the Daily Mail a copy of the hard drive from Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop in the spring of 2021. Well, he appeared on our Eric Bolling's The Balance yesterday, and he says for the past 2 weeks, he's been hiding John in Zurich, Switzerland. He's working with IT experts to dig more data, which he says he'll release. He says he's been following, and he says the Biden administration has been trying to intimidate and silence him.
I believe that the U.S. intelligence services took it down, and I believe that that means that they knew very well what was on the laptop. To the present day, the FBI hasn't admitted that they have custody of it. I have heard from some insiders that it's at their CI facility next to the Baltimore airport, and I think that the counterintelligence group buried this.
All right, joining us now is Ambassador Ric Grenell, former Director of National Intelligence, also the former U.S. Ambassador to Germany and a senior security analyst. Rick, great to have you with us.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
I just wanted to get your assessment on that. Do you believe, as Mr. Maxey does, that the intelligence community spiked this, took it off the internet?
Look, I will say this. There's no possible way that the Russian collusion hoax, the Hunter Biden laptop, all of this information could have been dismissed and manipulated without the help of DOJ and FBI officials. And I really mean that, and I don't say it lightly. There's no possible way that someone at DOJ didn't see what was happening, say, with that laptop 3 weeks before the 2020 election. There's no possible way the FBI agents didn't see the entirety of the Biden campaign team and Democrats and Congress people like Ted Lieu going out and calling this Russian disinformation. Now, let me be very clear. That is the Beijing line. That is what China wants you to do. China does not want you looking at that laptop because of all the details about the Chinese businessmen with the Biden family. So when the Democrats and DOJ and FBI allow the narrative to shift with the media, to say, don't look at that laptop because it's Russian disinformation. You know who's laughing all the way? The Chinese Foreign Ministry. They love it.
And Ambassador, Maxey's, obviously in fear for his life. He went to Switzerland, and, we expect to hear more from him. We haven't verified, his things, but obviously he's not going away. And there is more pressure. Attorney General Merrick Garland increasing pressure for him to appoint a special counsel. Even former independent counsel Ken Starr and others saying it's time. Do you agree?
I'm so tired of these special counsels and international courts. We have hundreds of millions of dollars that are being spent on the Department of Justice and the FBI. Do your job. Why aren't they doing their job? Why do we need an outside special counsel? The only time you need an outside special counsel is if you come to the table and you assume that DOJ can't do its job and it's too biased. I'm not there yet. I think clean up DOJ. Let's have a gut renovation inside the FBI. I can tell you from being the acting director of national intelligence, when I looked at these FBI agents whose name were on the information that said redacted information, and I would say, why did you redact this? They would say to me, I actually didn't redact it, my boss did. And so there's this problem at the FBI and DOJ that people are being fingered for being the problem when they're just following orders. And that's why we got to work it all the way up. There needs to be prosecutions and a total clean out at DOJ and the FBI.
Right. There are so many hardworking ground level FBI agents just trying to do the right thing. But Rick, you talked about the rot seems to be from the head on down when it comes to these federal law enforcement agencies. We also got to talk about the Secret Service and what's going on there. 4 agents, including a member of the First Lady's protective detail, suspended for accepting gifts from these fake cops. 2 men charged for impersonating federal officers and providing gifts to these Secret Service agents. They had Pakistani connections, apparently, passports, visas to prove that, also possible ties to Iran. Rick, this is bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bad. And, the Inspector General needs to get involved. The DOJ needs to get involved. We keep repeating all of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to default to outside organizations. They got to clean up themselves. And I'll say this, too. Whether it's the Secret Service, the FBI, or DOJ, when your colleagues are doing something wrong, you need to start outing them. And there needs to be self-policing. There needs to be a system, like in the intelligence world as well, where if you know someone's leaking, go and clean up the system, regulate the system yourself.
Maybe we can hire the Postal Service investigator who uncovered this story for that job. I don't know. He's
on the ball at least there. You got somebody watching out here. Rick, obviously an important topic too that very well, and that's energy. And UN just suspended Russia from the Human Rights Council. But meantime, we know the EU has paid Russia $24 billion for energy supplies since the invasion began in late February. So how does Europe square this? Some saying it just makes this UN Russia ban somewhat meaningless, just symbolic here, really, with no teeth.
Well, Bianca, you just hit it on the head. What you're really talking about is this incredible debate that's going on in Europe right now. You've got Belgian politicians and Eastern European politicians literally now attacking the Germans. There's a great Wall Street Journal piece today that talks about the problems that the Germans are having as they're covering for the Russians. They continue to buy the energy. They continue to have these policies that make Germany unstable, that make Russia more powerful, and certainly Europe unstable. And so we've got to be able to, in America, recognize that Berlin, Paris, and Brussels do not speak for all of the European Union. There are a whole bunch of other members of the EU that are very uncomfortable with having a lack of diversification when it comes to energy, and that Nord Stream 2 pipeline being literally a pipeline of influence.
Well, that's why they put the former German chancellor right at the head of Gazprom, Rick. Isn't that what they were doing there with that? At least that's what some people
I
allege.
wish we could do a whole segment on the former German chancellor and the current German politicians getting paid by China and Russia.
We should.
We will do that someday. We'll have you back, of course. Ambassador Ric Grenell, great to see you as always.
Thanks, Ambassador.
Thanks, guys.